Live from News Channel 3, the desert's news leader, this is a First Alert Weather Alert.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Peter Dowd.
And I'm Karen Devine. This is a special edition of News Channel 3 as we are tracking the impacts of Hilary around the valley.
Here's a live look at the Dune Palms Bridge project in La Quinta. We're seeing heavy flooding on roads all across the valley right now. We've also just learned that Sunline has suspended all service tonight.
We have live team coverage for you from east to west. Our Marco Revuelta is standing by in Coachella. He has more on evacuation warnings issued today for communities near the Salton Sea.
And our Miriam Bouchot is live in Cathedral City, but our coverage begins with First Alert meteorologist Kelly Moody. And Kelly, I know we've certainly seen a lot of this storm in the past few hours, driving rain, flooding, and now wicked wind gusts. What's on the radar right now?
The full gambit. We are starting to transition from that period of time where we went from heavy rainfall into gusty winds. And we've been seeing that all across the valley over the last 2 hours. I wanted to bring up our Indian Wells cam because this is where we've seen some pretty significant flooding through the Whitewater Wash. But also, you got to look at some of those trees there. They're definitely getting whipped around in that wind. A current look at those wind gusts have us currently sitting with wind gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour for Palm Desert, Palm Springs, Cathedral City, over 45 mile per hour winds. Up in the high desert, this is a new one, a 57 mile per hour wind gust for 29 Palms, close to that 40 mile per hour mark with those wind gusts for Thermal, and close to 50 mile per hour wind gusts in Mecca. Stronger winds will be building over the next couple of hours. We are not done with those winds by any stretch. However, we are starting to see some of that rain taper off. It's getting lighter and patchier all around the area, but you should not let your guard down in terms of that potential for flooding. We've got a ways to go with that. The bulk of the moisture continues to barrel up toward the northwest. Here at home, we still do have, though, that flash flood warning that actually got extended through 7 p.m. this evening. It may get extended again. I would not be surprised by this. That's an update that we'll continue to monitor throughout this hour. Again, this is for the entire Coachella Valley, but you can see things are getting patchier. It's not that consistent rainfall. That does not mean that we still will not see the potential for an isolated storm to spin up that could be severe. It's something we'll continue to watch on our radar. Along with that, it does mean that we're still going to be seeing runoff from our mountains that goes into the washes, floods into the roadways, and that will continue through tomorrow and possibly lead to cleanup efforts that are going well into this next week. We've seen it all around town. We're continuing to bring you live looks of that. We'll have a look at how much longer we can expect some of these big shifts with winds coming your way coming up.
Thank you, Kelly. This video shows water covering the roadways in North Shore. This was sent into the newsroom from 70th Avenue. We know that evacuation warnings have been issued for communities near the Salton Sea. News Channel 3's Marco Revuelta is live right now in Coachella. He's been out in the East Valley all day. And Marco, give us the update.
Hey Karen, you know, rain has stopped a little bit, but it comes and goes. We actually moved 2 minutes away from where we were at 5 o'clock. We're now at Van Buren and Dillon. And let me show you something. The water has collected in this intersection. Take a look at this. It's kind of incredible and impressive to see this and actually know that this is happening. You know, we have been seeing cars trying to pass this. We don't know the depth of the water, so it makes it a very dangerous condition. Now, I do want to step out and show you this other side where there's actually 2 cars stranded. There were one of the few trying to cross this area on Avenue 48 and Dillon, and you can see a blue car with its emergency lights on. We're hoping they're okay, as well as a black car over there. We did see somebody trying to get out, so we're hoping that they're okay and finding the help that they need to get somewhere safe. That is why the authorities are urging residents, if you do not have to be on the roads, please don't do it. We can certainly see why. We were out there the whole day in the East Valley talking to people in Mecca today. We met a woman who was traveling from Mexicali to LA and had to stop in Mecca since the rain got so bad. She tells me that she works in Mexicali, was headed to LA, of course, to her home. She was buying groceries at the gas station and says she and her family are going to stay in the car until at least tomorrow. They don't want to risk driving in these conditions. We also talked to a woman who was on her way to Palm Desert at this very same gas station. She said she was evacuated from her home in Salton City due to the high winds. She said officers came to her house asking her to seek a safe place to wait out the storm.
I live in Salton City. They evacuated us. An officer came to our house and asked us to evacuate. I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Back out here live, we continue being out here in Coachella on Avenue 48 in Dillon Road. Right now you're looking at a car, or rather a truck, trying to fight these waters. On this other side, we're also seeing another truck coming in. This is what authorities say you should not be doing. This is the same scenario playing out not 2 minutes away from here, over there on the other intersection. We'll, of course, continue to be out here monitoring the situation. If you don't have to be on the streets, do not drive. You can clearly see the combination can be very, very dangerous. That's all I have for right now. Karen, I'll send it back to you.
Marco, thank you for that update, and a reminder that if you need to evacuate during this storm, there are 2 shelters available in Riverside County. One is at Desert Mirage High School on 66th Avenue in Thermal, the other at the Banning Community Center on North San Gorgonio Avenue in Banning. You can find more resources and a link to sign up for emergency alerts right now at KESQ.com.
All right, take a look at this video sent in from downtown Palm Springs. Heavy flooding on North Palm Canyon. The city has declared a local emergency due to the flooding and at least 1 swift water rescue there. Our Miriam Bouchot has been in the West Valley all day, and right now she's in Cathedral City. And I know that we've had several calls, Miriam, from viewers reporting power outages there. How are things looking right now?
So right now we are at Dinah Shore in Whispering Palms in Cathedral City, and we checked back with you about 45 minutes ago, and just in less than an hour, Peter, the water has been rising. Look, we were on the opposite side of this car, and you could just see, just in the last few minutes, this water keeps going up. And look, it's not really raining super hard right now, but you can just see the ripples of the wind on the water. The wind keeps picking up. We are in a lull right now with the rain, at least in our location over here. But Peter, our live location was just across all of these flooded waters about 45 minutes ago, and we cannot stand there anymore because there's so much water there. Just look how quickly all this water is right here. I don't even want to stand in it because I don't even know how deep this is. And earlier there was so much water at Ramon and Lando, that intersection there, that people were panicking, trying to make holes in the walls of their complex because of risk of flooding into their homes. Just take a listen to these panicked residents.
The area is getting flooded out, so we don't put the holes in the walls, and all the apartments will get flooded. And people are starting to panic, yeah.
You see right there, there is a car trying to go through these flooded waters. This is a prime example of what not to do. Reminder, you don't know how deep these waters are. You can end up just like this white car right here, stuck. Earlier there was a tow truck that tried to get the car out, but the water is so deep and it is so stuck in there that it was not able to get out the car. So please be safe out there. I mean, those residents are panicking. This is scary for even the crews out here. So we're doing our best to stay safe, and we want you to stay safe as well. Live in Cathedral City, Miriam Bouchot, News Channel 3.
Boy, look at that water. Thank you, Marion. Our complete coverage of the impacts of Hurricane Hilary continue tonight, and we are learning that Palm Springs Unified and Desert Sands Unified have both canceled classes for tomorrow.
That's right. We've also received reports of several swift water rescues from around the valley. This blue car there, that was stuck in the water on Dune Palms Road, and you can see the water rushing off into the sand. Up to the minute developments on Hilary right after the break.
And help us keep the Valley informed by sending your photos and videos to share at KESQ.com. You can also find up-to-the-minute developments on flooding, road closures, and evacuation warnings on our website, KESQ.com. You're watching News Channel 3, the Desert's news leader. And now to Hilary's impact on flights in and out of Palm Springs International Airport. As of now, all but one departing flight are canceled.
News Channel 3's Bianca Ventura spoke with passengers who had to postpone their plans because of the storm.
So it's been very
frustrating
and difficult.
Yeah.
Hilary is making it difficult for passengers in and out of Palm Springs International Airport, like Nick and Robin Kloosterhoff.
As we saw, almost everything just was canceled for today.
The couple scrambling to make accommodations after receiving a cancellation notification.
So when you're sleeping for your flight the next day, a 1 o'clock in the morning email is not a very good way to be communicating.
An empty TSA line while some passengers wait until Tuesday to reschedule their flights. The Kloosterhoffs are some of those passengers, extending their stay in Palm Desert for 2 days until they can fly back home to Canada.
And we were just told there's nothing available. And then I asked, well, what would we do for food and lodging? And they just said you can try to make a claim.
Braden Brinkhurst, on the other hand, had better luck.
And I show up and on the screen there's 2 flights that say on time. Everything else is canceled.
His flight to Salt Lake City, Utah was still set to depart Sunday afternoon. Brinkhurst says he was in the Big Bear area for a mountain biking competition.
But the race ended up going off great and it was amazing. And now it's just travel day, so I'm not too bummed about it.
With backup plan in mind, he figured he'd give his flight a go.
Yeah, I just want to get back. But if I need to wait because the weather's too gnarly, it's better to be safe than sorry.
In Palm Springs, Bianca Ventura, News Channel 3.
Better safe than sorry. It's what we're saying today. Palm Springs International Airport says they've prepared for Hilary by calling in additional staff, activating and testing backup systems, and testing all backup power generators. You can check the status of all arriving and departing flights at Palm Springs International at KESQ.com.
And of course, we're tracking heavy flooding around the desert tonight.
Take a look at these videos sent into the newsroom from the Whitewater Wash in La Quinta. It is raging there. We have a list of road closures right now at KESQ.com.
And our tropical storm warning remains in effect with no end in sight. This is primarily to indicate the gusty winds that are definitely becoming more and more present no matter where you are in the valley. We'll have a current look at those wind gusts, plus how we expect them to pan out as we get into the evening hours. That's coming up after the break, so stay with us. You're watching News Channel 3, the desert's news leader.
Now live from News Channel 3, the desert's news leader. This is a First Alert Weather Alert.
And we're staying on top of the latest developments from around the valley as we are tracking the impacts of Hilary.
Right now, we're tracking multiple road closures around the valley due to flooding. There are too many to list for you right now on air.
Some major ones to keep in mind, though: Highway 111 in Indio, the Dinah Shore Bridge in Cathedral City, and Fred Waring in Palm Desert. If you can stay off the roadways, then do so. You can find a list of closures at KESQ.com. And turning right now to the East Valley, News Channel 3's Marco Revuelta is live in Coachella. We checked in with him at the top of the hour. He's where an intersection is completely submerged, but people, Marco, are still trying to cross over it.
Hey, Karen, that's right. You know, take a look at this behind us. There's this pickup truck right now. That driver had to actually push his truck from that water area that we were just a minute ago and all the way over here. I think he got another friend to come help him push it. We don't know if it turned off or it just fell. We tried to ask him, but he didn't want to talk to us. Now, take a look at the intersection right here on Avenue 48 and Dillon Road. Completely underwater. You know, we drive through these streets on a regular basis, and it's so shocking to see it like this. The water is almost spreading onto nearby business. This is the Burger King next door. You can see that water slowly making its way to that drive-through. We're hoping it doesn't reach the business, of course. And right now, passing through the waters, we have an emergency vehicle. We're unsure of where they're heading, but it's on our camera right now. We can see that as they pass on through. And of course, we'll be out here monitoring the situation. We're in Coachella once again, talking to people, hoping that they stay safe and that they don't go outdoors if they don't need to. That's all I have for right now. Karen, I'll send it back to you.
All right, I'll take it from here, Marco. Thanks. Turning now to our Marion Bouchot, who is live in Cathedral City tonight. Marion, how are conditions changing since we last checked in with you?
Peter, we just learned minutes ago that there are more than 3,000 people in Cathedral City without power as of right now. And this is what it looks like over here in Cathedral City off of Dinah Shore. The floodwaters just keep rising. We've had a lot of cars consider going through all of this water right here, but they made the smart decision. They did turn around. We have someone on the opposite side right there. Hopefully they'll make the smart decision and turn around, but these floodwaters keep rising and the winds just keep on getting stronger and stronger. And please keep in mind, keep an eye out for that debris, because earlier my photographer and I, we've been trying to dodge palm tree debris, and all of these objects are just flying in this wind, so please be careful and remember, please turn around, don't drown. Live in Cathedral City, Miriam Bouchot, News Channel 3.
This is live TV, folks. My goodness, our crews have been working so hard out in the field. We are so grateful for all the work they are doing. They are quite literally our boots on the ground today. I'm taking you out to our El Paseo cam, where you can see on the ground here we've got bark from palm trees. If you watch these palm trees, I mean, look at them. They are just getting completely whipped around in the winds. We use this camera a lot. This is not a view we typically see. You can see, even if you watch this traffic pole here, you might watch it get a little rattled up. This is where I've been seeing peak wind gusts between 30 and even 50 miles per hour. I've been getting a lot of questions all day long. Kelly, where is the eye? Well, this is actually quite relevant to us right now. You can see some of that curvature there. So I'm going to say our eye is right off the coast of Orange County at this point. And that makes sense then why we are seeing some of the strongest gusts so far, because we are in that upper right quadrant of what's left of Hilary, and that's where we typically see the most damage from winds when it comes to these storms. Let's take a look at our current wind gusts. We can see here we've got wind gusts upwards of 55 miles per hour crossing through Cathedral City, gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour out towards spots like Thermal and Mecca, otherwise seeing between 30 and 40 mile per hour wind gusts all across the valley, and even stronger winds expected as we head into the next couple of hours. We are not done with these winds by any stretch. They are definitely our primary impact that we're looking at for right now. As we head toward the later evening hours around 7 o'clock, we're going to continue to watch that wind push up to the north. As we get into the late evening hours around 10 p.m., still working with plenty of that wind. I don't think it's going to be until after about 11 p.m. that we start to work with a more reasonable situation. Winds get much calmer by tomorrow morning, and then we do all that cleanup all over town. So winds are still expected to be the primary impact in terms of what's happening right now with the changes in this storm. I no longer believe that we're going to be working with an active tornado threat, so we're going to put that as a low possibility, something we're of course still monitoring though. You may still see a couple of pockets here and there of heavy rainfall, but rain has started to taper. Despite that, it's obvious we've got flooding all over town, and that flooding will continue, and those waters may rise quite a bit more over the next day or so as we continue to watch runoff from our area mountains move on through the area. Again, a quick update for you, that flash flood warning still in effect as of right now until 7 p.m. from the National Weather Service. If that gets extended, of course, we will be telling you rather quickly, as will your phone. You will likely get an alert. We're probably going to go a little long here just so my producer knows. Taking a quick look at these most updated rainfall totals, I just changed these for you. Mount San Jacinto has now reached over 8 inches in overall accumulation. Palm Desert getting closer and closer to 4 inches, nearly 3 inches in Thousand Palms and Palm Springs, around 2.5 inches up in the high desert in Yucca Valley. Quick look at your First Alert Comfort Air 7-day forecast. We're going to keep that first alert in effect through Monday. May get extended out into Tuesday, just depending on how conditions are looking, but we do expect things to continue to dry out. Triple digits will be with us as we head toward the end of the week and into the weekend, but we certainly have a lot of work to do as we continue to track conditions with what is now left of Hilary. We're seeing the brunt of the impact with winds as we speak.
We sure are getting a lot of video, and it's interesting to see how hard hit the area is getting, especially with the winds now and the trees falling over.
Yeah. And again, I just got an email a few moments ago from the Mizell Senior Center in Palm Springs. They will be closed tomorrow, in addition to Palm Springs Unified School District and Desert Sands Unified School District. So all of that closed tomorrow.
It will be a quiet day around the valley.
It should be. And if you can stay off the roads, please do.
Take a look at some video sent into the newsroom by a viewer from Thousand Palms. Just a torrent of water there. You can see a pickup nearly covered in the water.
Send your photos and videos to share at KESQ.com. We can all see them. Help us keep the valley informed. You're watching the Desert's News Leader.
All right, we have some breaking news. We're getting reports right now that the entrance to Eisenhower's ER is flooded. Take a look at this video. You can see the golf cart there nearly up to the seats in water. Surgeons say a few ORs are now leaking. Stay with News Channel 3 for any new developments on this.
And we've got you covered. Kelly, what are you tracking for the rest of the night?
Mostly winds, Karen. That is taking over as one of our primary concerns in terms of active weather that we're seeing coming in association with this storm. That in addition to, of course, flooding. That's something that, of course, we're giving you visuals of all over town. Downtown Palm Springs has certainly seen its fair share of it. Of course, we keep telling you, if you can avoid being on the roads, please do, because now we're starting to get into the territory where gusty winds will be our next big issue. And these are not something you want to try and battle with out on the 10. We're currently seeing peak wind gusts that are ranging mostly between 30 and 50 miles per hour. But you can see even there in Cathedral City, we've got peak wind speeds that are upwards of 55 miles per hour. These winds will start to shift direction over the next couple of hours as the storm continues to progress farther to the north. But all in all, we are still due for strong gusts just like these as we head into the next couple of hours. I don't expect things to weaken until we get around 11 tonight. In the meantime, we do still have that flash flood warning that stays in effect until 7 o'clock. Of course, we will have updates over the next hour if that does get extended.
Okay, Kelly, thank you so much. And that's all for this edition of News Channel 3. A reminder, PSUSD, DSUSD have canceled classes for tomorrow, and CVUSD, they don't have classes yet, but the district office will be closed.
Help us keep the Valley informed by sending your photos and videos to share@kesq.com as we track the fallout from this storm.
You can also find up-to-the-minute developments on flooding and road closures at kesq.com.
News Channel 3 is now available on any of these streaming services and on kesq.com.